There was a woman whose name was never recorded, yet her presence shaped the course of history. She lived in days when wickedness covered the earth, when corruption filled the streets, and when people no longer cared about truth. In that darkness she walked beside a man named Noah. Her home was simple and surrounded by mockery. Every day she faced a society drowning in evil. Noah began acting differently. He said he had heard God's voice announcing judgment over the whole earth and that he needed to build a great ark to shelter his family and pairs of animals. She received no vision, no revelation. But she looked into Noah's eyes and saw truth and hope. So she chose to stand with him. She supported him and sustained the family while people mocked. She sewed clothes, prepared food, and organized supplies while sin echoed outside. Her faith grew in silence. Noah cut and hammered wood as the ark took shape before the scornful gaze of the people. She stood beside him, steady and determined. She was not the protagonist, but she was the foundation inside the home. Her decision was alliance, toward her husband and toward God. There were days of doubt, when the sky seemed too bright to predict a storm and mockery grew louder. So she continued. Every meal prepared, every gesture of support, every comfort given to her children showed her covenant. Her stillness was resistance. She didn't need speeches, her presence was enough. Outside, corruption spread. Violence became normal. Inside, she created an atmosphere of preparation. While Noah fulfilled God's order, she adjusted what was needed and carried unseen burdens. When fatigue overcame Noah, she strengthened him. When the children felt excluded, she reminded them they were part of something greater. Mockers gathered daily. Children pointed at the construction. Adults whispered in sarcasm. Some called Noah insane. Others accused him of seeking attention. He heard it all. A neighbor once looked at her with pity, muttering about delusion. She said nothing, simply walked on. Faith for her was lonely. While others lived in depravity, she cared for her family like one who protects a promise. Every garment mended, every seed stored had purpose. Living against the crowd meant resisting the desire to belong. She chose to stand with a man who walked with God. She prepared the ark to shelter lives she did not yet understand. Her faith was silent and practical. In the midst of chaos, she raised 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. She shaped them not only with words but with her example. When the world showed disorder, she offered stability. Mealtimes were sacred. She ensured the home remained a place of order. Her children learned honor, obedience, and faith from her constancy. The day the ark was completed, the sky seemed calm. Yet creation felt still. Animals began entering the ark in pairs, guided by an invisible hand. She watched lions, birds, deer, and all creatures finding their places. The door closed by a force beyond human strength, and she knew the world had changed. Then the sky broke. Thunder roared and heavy rain poured. Rivers fell from the heavens as if the sky itself wept. The deluge began with fury. She felt pain, not for judgment but for those who ignored the warnings. She remembered the neighbors' faces now gone. Inside the ark, she remained steady. She comforted her daughters-in-law and strengthened her family. Outside, the world was ending. Inside, hope was alive. As days passed, mountains vanished beneath the waters. But inside the ark, life continued. She woke without the sun to guide time. Her care filled the hours, feeding animals, cleaning, organizing supplies. She did not know how long they would remain, but she worked faithfully each day. Her daughters-in-law leaned on her, her sons found balance in her presence, and Noah trusted her quiet wisdom. Sometimes she sat by a window, looking at the endless gray sky, letting silent tears fall. The grief was real, for land lost and voices silenced. But her tears were also surrender. When the rain ceased, the world outside was silent. Waiting became their new trial. Days repeated with no answers. But she continued caring and guiding. When Noah sent the raven, then the dove, she watched as if witnessing a promise unfold. When the dove returned with an olive leaf, her eyes filled with tears. The world was breathing again. So she waited. Leaving before God's time meant risking his protection. At last, the ark rested on the mountains. Waters receded. Land appeared. The day the door opened, the air carried the scent of new earth. She stepped out with solemn strength. Before her stretched a world untouched, waiting to be rebuilt. She helped unload the ark, prepared the land, guided her daughters-in-law, and watched her sons assume their roles as founders of new humanity. Noah built an altar and she worshipped beside him. The world was new but her faith the same. Time passed. Trees grew again. Families multiplied. And in every new seed planted, every child born, there was a trace of her faithfulness. She was a hidden root sustaining what flourished above. No crowns were placed on her. No altars built for her. Yet she fulfilled what God entrusted. She didn't save the world with speeches but with presence. She upheld a family when the world needed it most. The woman history forgot was a silent pillar of redemption. God saw her, chose her, preserved her. Through her, humanity continued. Her life teaches the value of what is done in secrecy. She supported Noah's mission with dedication. Trusting without seeing, she entered the ark and waited. Her silence held wisdom. God sees what the world ignores. And though unnamed, her legacy is eternal.